Folks, we are back again. This is lovely Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. My name is DJ TYB, the place to be. It's another Saturday. We are here to give you all the best that we got. Because you know what, folks, at the end of the day, that's all we do best. We are artists, and when we come here, we make people laugh, we make people cry. We are here always to bring you all the best that we got. You know what? It's a Saturday. It's 1 minute past 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 degrees Celsius in Toronto, from Addis Ababa to Zimbabwe, around the globe. It's HWY 6 to Africa. And today we have a very special show for you and with you and with me, propping up everything, my co-pilot, MOLLINGA, a songwriter. Yes. Well, we'll tell you what is actually going on later. But in the meantime, Ron, how are you?
Hey, TYB. Hello, everyone. I am doing fabulous today. It is a Saturday here on the west coast of Canada where it's starting, the sun is starting to shine, which is beautiful after some really rainy days. It's nice to be seeing the sun come out today rather than being in the rain. So I have no complaints about today, and it's great to be on the show like always. And hopefully we get to speak to everybody and we're expecting to see. And there's the lovely Petra. She shows up.
Yeah, hey. She is here. Yes.
Hi.
Back in the saddle. Back in the saddle. We miss you. We miss you.
I miss you guys too. Hi guys, you good?
Hi, everything is great. Everything is good. We miss you, but all the same, it's great to have you back.
We're busy.
Lovely Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. You see, I'm I'm smiling. I'm happy inside, but behind all of this, we have some two great artists. This is the first time we've had two artists back to back. So we are going to have a very great conversation. Before we get PSYCHOYP, we have AZANTI here. Hey, my brother, how you doing?
How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing?
Hi, AZANTI. How are you?
Telling, good to be here, man. Appreciate you guys doing this with us.
Awesome.
And this is what we do best. Yeah, that's right. We are artists here. You are an artist. You are, we are family here. We are going to be discussing your careers and what you've done, what you intend doing. It's going to be conversational in nature. We don't interview. It's going to be just great interviews with you. And before we start anything, I always give PETRAA the first round of questions. To do it. By the way, PETRAA, happy International Women's Day yesterday.
Aw, thank you. And the same to Jan, our hardworking producer and all the other female hosts on Love Bay Radio. So thank you. I receive it. Sure. So we have both artists, right? We have both of them on the show.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, I like to traditionally start off with a standard question directed at both the artists. I'd love for you guys both to share with the audience who is AZANTI and who is PSYCHOYP.
Yeah, saying that, my name is AZANTI. I'm an Afrobeats, R&B, singer-songwriter and producer from Nigeria. Right now I live in Canada. So yeah, I'm going to school in Canada. I'm going to uni in Canada. So yeah, man. Right now we're about to drop a project. Me and YP and AZANTI. YP is a rapper from Nigeria, one of the top rappers pushing the culture in Nigeria and Africa right now. So we're about to make magic and drop YP and AZANTI, which is just an amazing link between R&B, Afrobeats, and hip hop. I feel like it's some stuff that's never been done before, and I'm pretty excited.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And it's PSYCHOYP there as well.
PETRAA, before you go on, actually, this will be the second stint for PSYCHOYP. We've
I know.
he's no stranger to love the Afrobeat music talk radio. Yo, go ahead, please.
For sure. I was just seeing if it's there. Hey, Psycho, how are you?
Yo,
What's going on?
what's going on, people?
Good. How are you? Good to have you back. How's everything?
Yes, good to be back. Everything is amazing. Kind of stressful right now because we're trying to finish up the project. Um, but yeah, apart from that, everything's blessed. Everything's blessed.
Okay, awesome. Well, I know you got this project covered. You're always bringing the hits. But for our first-time listeners, can you just share to them who PSYCHOYP is?
Um, okay, PSYCHOYP is a Nigerian rapper, um, born and raised in Nigeria. Um, um, he's exceptionally gifted. You know, he's an engineer, also a producer, video director. He's a bit of everything. So that's PSYCHOYP. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. TYB?
Yes, PSYCHOYP. This is the second time. My brother, yeah, well, it's about 2 years now, right? More than a year or 2 years now that you've been here. And we miss you, and it's great to have you back with AZANTI. And with you, AZANTI, we know PSYCHOYP, right? We'll get to him momentarily. How did you get into music to begin with?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've just been about the music for as long as I can remember. Like that's just a passion I've always had. Like it's one of my earliest memories is making music, listening to music. And by the time I was finishing high school, I done my GCSEs. By the time that was finished, I was trying to like pursue that and like further my music, the passion I had for music. And yeah, that's when all this started basically when I was 16, 15. So I dropped my first record when I was 16 with YP. So this is like a full circle moment too. So because me and YP dropped the project YP and AZANTI Volume 1. Now we're about to drop the Volume 2 now. So uh, I started dropping music when I was like 16. Uh, yeah, and it's just been a go from there. It's just something we both love doing, and I just appreciate being able to do it right now.
Awesome. Awesome. So you've been a fixture. I was reading about you. You've been a fixture in the Afrobeats circle, both here in Toronto and worldwide. And I just listened to the track you and YP did. I did listen to it, and it came to a head today. I listened to it very, 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 very. How did you guys meet? I will now direct the question to YP. How did you guys meet?
So basically, um, I think it was during COVID or something. Um, I had like it was a funny story because I had like people trying to connect me to his music, and I had him in my email sending me music. But I don't think he even knew he had people sending me his music or putting me onto his stuff. But I had people
Yeah, the art of technology, yes.
or whatever, and I reached out. And after I reached out, I only reached out because I had like some of his songs on my phone from one of my friends that was like literally close to me in like Abuja here. So I think he pulled up to my yard one day and we were just chilling and he played some of the songs and I asked him to airdrop like 4 or 5 of them. So I just had them on my phone. So randomly, and one day he just came across my mind and I checked out his messages and his email, and yeah, I just reached out. We just started making music, and like he has the energy. He's one of the only people I know that like makes music in a quick turnaround time, as quick as I do. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, we just go from there.
Awesome. Awesome. Ron?
Yeah, I hope Azante is still with us there because the question, yeah, there he is. The question I was going to ask him, because I heard him saying he's going to school. Can you tell us what you're going to school for? I know I went to university for both music and education. So I'm curious to know what you're going in for. I assume it's post-secondary that you're in for. So what are you doing at university?
I'm studying computer science. It's not the easiest shit, so I think I want. Oh, I don't think I could say that, but it's not the easiest thing. But yeah, I think I'm trying to change that. But right now, I'm studying computer science in university.
So you enjoy C++ instead of music theory? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
It's like when you come from an African home, you can't really like come to Canada and study music, brother. Like they're not gonna take you seriously, bro. So you have to do something that they can respect. Like me, honestly, like I would love to study something else. Computer science is not my passion at all. I don't really like it, but it's something that you know my parents are gonna respect me for, and I feel like I'm doing this.
Mm.
So
Yeah, we've heard this time and time again where artists are saying they're trying to make their parents happy by doing something other than music. Do you think you're making your parents happy with what you're doing so far in music then?
I think, I think you know, if I was like done with school, I feel like it would be easier for them to feel happy. I feel like they are happy in their head. They don't want to understand that like this could go somewhere in their head, but like it's only because I'm not done with school. If I was done with school, I feel like they'd be 100 behind me. But right now, it's like, music comes with a lot of things, a lot of temptations, a lot of stuff that's just not, it's just not like good for a kid, like, for somebody that's young to just be in the space. And I completely understand where they come from because, they're old. When I was 16, when they were telling me all these things when I was 16, I was like, I didn't really listen to what they were saying. I really just thought I knew better. But like right now, as I've spent, a substantial amount of time in the industry, I've been privileged to meet a lot of my idols that I used to look up to. I've been privileged to have cosigns from almost everybody I used to look up to now. So being in the industry now, like I'm just really like thankful that I have a good head over my shoulders and I have a good family and there's people around me that's uh that's always making sure I'm not doing the wrong thing. So yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So, do you want to say
Yeah.
something, Ron?
No, I mean, I'm just curious to know why. Now I'm curious to know why, but he's answered the question as to why he's chosen computer science over, say, like me. I went into music and did music theory. My parents supported that completely. They didn't care. They just thought, good, he's doing something something he wants to do rather than something that they wanted me to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. I know you are not alone. We hear this time and time again from many artists, especially ones from Nigeria, whose parents would be so happy if they went in to be a doctor rather than being a musician. So not uncommon. Anyways, go ahead, TYB.
Yes, and this question goes to YP. You started by saying that you're stressed and you're doing some projects and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about the project that you're doing and what is so exciting about the project that you're doing?
Um, so right now we're working on YP and AZANTI Volume 2. It's basically done, it's basically ready. Just needs a bit of polishing. And this is where it gets, kind of stressful because everybody has like different wants for the project, different, you know, creative concepts for the project, but everything can't always make it. So this is the time. This is the period where we're literally going through every track, going through every every song that we put on this list, and we're trying to pick a solid project out of it, like make a solid project out of it, and make sure that this is like long lasting. It has a long lasting effect, and this is like a memorable period in everybody's lives. So we're trying to make this the most memorable it can be. It has to hit harder than Volume One, obviously. Um, so yeah, everyone is literally putting in hella hours, hella stress to try to make it bigger than the first and leave a crazy impact.
And
Um,
yeah, have you had any challenges?
yeah, 100%. Like we've been working on mixes for like the past 3 months.
Wow.
And we're still not done. Literally, um, we've literally like done 50% of the project, I think. But that's on the mixing side. Everything's recorded. All the stems are with the engineer, but we're just trying to get the perfect sound to let everybody know. It's different around here. We're not just sitting down and like putting random shit together. This is some crazy ass sonics. It's some crazy, But yeah, you feel me?
So would it be the same project with Azanti, or is it different?
It's the
All
same
the same.
project. This is the same project, and have in mind that this whole project we had this project ready for how long? Almost like when did we go, Kenya? 6 months ago. Like 6 months, 7 months. It's been ready like for release, but now the polishing is what's taking us almost a year to get to get done. So yeah, just a lot of crossing the T's, dotting the I's. But yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, I know all of us here know the mixing part of any recorded material is the most important, and I'm glad you are a veteran, so I don't even have to come to you. You are a veteran because spending
100%.
quite a lot of time on mixes is the best. It's even better than when you started the song. So I think I
Uh-huh.
applaud you. Yes, I applaud you for taking your time. You're under no pressure, and then to do what you've done.
Thank
Um,
you, sir.
my next question will be that you and correct me if I'm wrong. You and Azanti or Azanti has signed on your independent label with Def Jam Records. Which is which? And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Um, Azanti has a deal with Def Jam under Apex Village. Um, so it's basically like a JV with Apex and Def Jam, having both teams come together, pull their weight, and Def Jam humble enough to take Azanti as a rookie vet, like upcoming vet. This is a legend in the making. So they're down to listen to all our concepts, down to listen to all his ideas, all his music, and it's crazy. So we just thank everybody in their team for actually, you know, lending their ears to this music because they know he's gonna be great. We know he's gonna be great, and yeah, they're just trying to help us achieve our vision. So yeah, that's what it is.
Awesome. Petra.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you, TRB. Yes, Psycho. So I wanted to ask you, so what is the inspiration behind the current project? Like, what's the inspiration behind the entire project, would you say?
It's more, the first one was more of me hopping on Azanti's wave and trying to make a solid R&B project. But this volume two is more of a hip hop R&B, more leaning to the hip hop side, and Azanti is more on a hype more than volume one, where more of his stuff was more melodic and um bare lyricism. But this is more hip hop vibe, gives more of a bounce. So yeah, it's just crazy. I feel like it's gonna open a lot of conversations, hip hop wise and R&B wise as well, because I think they ain't really they ain't really open to giving this young kid his awards, his accolades in the industry, and I feel like it's time for him to get his damn accolades. He needs to get
Yes.
a couple nominations for. So yeah.
Most definitely. And I think he's definitely under some great guidance. So I definitely
That's
know you're gonna step
right.
right way.
Uh-huh.
For sure. So I wanted to ask you, are there any collabs that you have that's gonna be featured on the project or any collabs
Um,
for Zanti?
for now, on the project, it's just me and Azanti. We ain't really been trying to work with a lot of people, but something might happen.
You never
Something
know
might happen.
remixes. You never know you could do a remix.
Well, yeah, maybe or something might just happen. You never know.
Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about the music industry, you know?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Yeah, so Azanti, I also want to ask you as well. How Azanti? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Well, ma'am here. I wanted to ask you the same question. What is the inspiration behind your style, your sound, your music? What would you say that is?
I'm sorry for calling you sir first.
Now you hear my accent. That's okay. It's okay. I forgive you.
um, Inspiration behind my music. It's always real things. Now, when I first started it off, like I was just trying to invoke emotions I was seeing around me, and how I thought I could feel in certain situations, and it was pretty accurate. But right now, it's really
Mm-hmm.
nuanced. You know, like my life is taking different turns. You know, I've been privileged to see a lot of things in my life, and the theme of this project is pretty self evident. Now, we are in a better
Mm-hmm.
place we were when we dropped YP and Azanti Volume One. So with this project, what we're on right now, what theme of it is, you know, it doesn't sound like we're doing too much or like trying to stress, or even though the sonics are very intricate and very like different from what everybody else is doing, is the effort
Mm-hmm.
is still there because of how we're just trying to show the transition from where we were and where we are now. So now
Mm-hmm.
a lot more effortless. It feels, you know, you're saying a lot more things that are witty and you know, maybe a few cocky braggadocio. You get me? Like right now,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
that's kind of the vibe that we're on right now for this project specifically, and we're tapping in from things we've seen all from all these years. Like YP and Azanti dropped in 2021, 2020, sorry, and this is
Mm-hmm.
2024. You know, volume two,
Yeah.
and probably one of the most anticipated duo projects to ever come from Nige. I don't really know any duos that made that kind of impact when we dropped Volume One. So Volume Two is just there's a lot of pressure on us to remake the energy to come back,
Mm-hmm.
feel like, you know, because Volume One is I've never we never beat the first project allegations. You get me? So like
Yeah, exactly.
this has to be, you know, gold. And yes, we're nervous, but you know, we're ready.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you can use those nerves a little bit as like fuel to kind of like, push the engine, So definitely use it as your wings, like your anchor,
Yes, sir. Exactly.
So I wanted to ask, yeah, for sure. Yeah, ma'am. I wanted to ask you one last question before I pass it over to Ron. You mentioned a bit about evolution and how your style and sound has changed over that time period. What do you say has attributed to that evolution and that change?
Um, Real life, um, God, spirituality, um, money,
Mhm.
uh, women. You know, like when you become an artist, like everything
Mhm.
changes. If you have any form of clout, or you know, if you're popping, like everything changes. How you think changes. Everything completely changes. And I feel like YP and Azanti, I came in that having no industry. knowledge or industry experience or any experience at all. Like I just came out from high school. Like I wasn't really the coolest guy in high school. You know what I mean? I was not that I wasn't like I was not that anybody hated me, but like I wasn't the popular guy. So like
Mm,
I really didn't know how that felt. So like
mm,
dropping music, yeah, 4 years from when I first dropped my first record to now, I feel like there's a lot of things we we've seen we could talk about. A lot
mm,
of like you could tell the energy the women have with us now is different, and the energy
mm.
people around us have is different now. And I feel like all this is gonna be embodied in the project. Yeah, you're just gonna feel a bunch of boys that just they're just cruising, having a good time in life, and we're grateful for what we're having right now, and we know there's so much more to come. Well, we're taking it step by step and all
Yeah, most definitely. And it's great that you're putting all of this into the music, you know what I mean?
that.
And that I believe is like the things that you've spoken about just now, that you're seeing a whole new different perspective on. I believe that's something you fans can definitely relate to, because I'm sure your true fans, your super fans that we like to call them, that have seen you from the inception of your career to now, they've seen the evolution, and I'm sure they've also grown with you too, right? And I think that will allow your fan base to continue to grow because of that evolution.
Yes, ma'am.
For sure. I like how that sounds. Okay, go ahead, Ron.
Okay,
Uh, Thanks, ma'am. I appreciate that, ma'am. Very much. I know this one well, ma'am.
I like how that sounds too, Ron.
What I'm most curious about, and when I heard your music, and I had a Nigerian friend tell me about what he had heard about you and knows about you, I want to ask, who are you trying to reach? Who's your market? Sorry, Petra, if I took your line here, because I'm curious to know who you're trying to market. The reason I say this is because when listening to your music, I notice that there's a lot of intermingling of languages. Now, I don't want to say I'm a language expert, but I taught language for a lot of years. What I find most difficult, and I can't speak for everybody, but for me personally, is to hear songs where one language is in there and then all of a sudden it switches to English. It would be like me coming and speaking to you like this. Je parle français un peu et vous, je parle très peu. That's sort of what I'm hearing in your music. I'm hearing intermingling of languages. And my friend from Nigeria said that he knew what language it was, but he didn't know how to speak it. So who are you trying to reach when you're trying to intertwine these languages in and amongst your songs? Is it the Nigerians? Is it who are you trying to reach?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. I'd say for me, I never want to be put in a box. Never.
No?
I always I'm gonna beat the box away. Like I feel like sometimes it's a bad thing, sometimes most times a good thing, but I beat the box away. So and I also want to make music that transcends everything, every facet of life, every type of people, every walk of life. So I'm a Nigerian man. I will speak Yoruba on my records just because I don't want the people at home to feel, left out. Because I grew up speaking English. That's what I know how to speak. Like I learned pidgin when I left Nigeria. That's how I was. So like it's not like I was just out here in very fully into the Nigerian culture. Like I was a bit privileged or like, you know, in I was kind of excluded from a lot of things. My parents sheltered me from a lot of experiences in Nigeria. So yeah, whenever I speak my language in the music is because I don't want my people to feel left out. I don't want them to feel like I don't care about what they feel or things. That's why I always try to infuse my African language or languages. And with languages generally, I feel like I'm just trying to be as creative as possible. So I might speak like a Spanish line, I say a Spanish line or like a French line or English line and switch it back to Yoruba line. You know, in my head, it's most times that's kind of how creatively I'm being led. You know, it's I'm painting a picture. So if you like look if you like look deeply at the lyrics, you'll see that like there's probably like a scheme there, or like there's a witty like figure of speech type thing going on in the lyrics. And yeah, I just love making music, so I just always do different stuff. I don't want to be in box. I don't want to do things that everybody's doing. You know, because most times if you're gonna make music for Nigerians, you're gonna make music in pidgin. Maybe you add a Nigerian language, but like now, like my I'm trying to market to the whole world, man. Be an international superstar, global artist, because music isn't just where you're from. Music is global. It's a unique language. So yeah, it's because I'm trying to be international. That's why I do that.
I guess when I hear that, I've heard many artists, I've worked with many Nigerians who have said the same thing. They want to include their country. To use a few numbers for you, there's approximately 300 million people in Nigeria, approximately, give or take. However, that's, if you think about it in the realm of things in the planet, that's a very small market
Yeah.
on the planet. So you're reaching you want to reach about 300 million. The reason I ask about these questions is because if you were to sing in English, you would be reaching about 2.5 to 3 billion people. So do you think that, because I know my friend, the same thing, he's saying that, sometimes people are telling him he should be doing Afrobeat and he's doing more pop stuff. So he's feeling pressure from his culture. So do you feel pressure from your culture to do that? Because 300 million isn't a big market. You've got to admit, that's a pretty tiny, tiny, tiny market by comparison to what is out there in terms of the English speakers. Look at the singers like Taylor Swift, on just the way top end, of course, who speaks totally in English, and she's making a killing. So is it just the culture, or what? I get confused by this a little bit.
It's not like I feel pressure. Pressure is not. I want to do that. I want to represent my people. I want to represent where I'm from in my music. At the end of the day, music is about not music, art. Art is about your POV. It's about how you see life. So I come from Nigeria. My parents spoke Yoruba, even though they didn't speak it to me. I was there. I understand Yoruba. I hear them speak it. It's a part of my life. It's a part of my story. So I don't want to exclude it from the music. And there's definitely songs I have that I just go straight English, because that's also a side of my life that I can't exclude. I'm an English speaker. I was born speaking English, so yeah. I don't think it's a pressure thing. I think it's more me just paying my dues to my home, my homeland, my heritage.
Okay, sir.
Wow. Yes, folks, you are listening to the program Highway 6 to Africa. Today we have some special guests, AZANTI and PSYCHOYP. YP, if you're there, I have a question for you. You've been successful. If I look at your achievements, folks, YP was nominated at the Headies Awards 2023 Best Rap Single, Bando Diary. He performed at the 2023 Sound City MVP Awards. Winner, Best Hip Hop Artist Cloud Africa Awards 2022. #1 Apple Music Alternative Chart, Nigeria. You know what?
Wow.
So much.
You've been busy.
You know yeah.
You've definitely been busy, eh?
Oh, yes. And #1 Apple Music R&B Chart, Nigeria. It was charted in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Sierra Leone, Mali, Madagascar, Liberia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines.
Woo! My island.
That's right. YP.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
How do you measure success? Because you've done it. How do you measure
Congratulations.
I mean, I just try to keep working. To be honest with you, I just try to make sure I'm always working. And yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, but you've worked hard, because from where you started up until now, for the awards that you've gotten is quite unique, because not everybody has been through this, and with that I congratulate you. And the second thing that I will add to it is that you're doing great. You're giving inspiration to Azanti. Azanti is young, and you've taken him under your wings to mentor him. How has it been so far with him?
Kind of challenging. Azanti is a big headache, but I love him. um, yeah, he's a massive headache.
Honesty.
But you gotta love him.
Honesty.
You gotta love him. He's a
Wifey,
great kid. He's a
wifey,
great
I like
kid.
your honesty. I like your honesty, wifey.
But it's
No,
all
for
love
real.
though. Azanti is all love.
It's
Don't
all
feel no
love. It's
way.
all love. It's all love. I find myself learning a lot from him more time,
Yeah.
and he's a very brilliant kid. Um, and yeah, he's literally one of the only people that I could go to for advice on music or anything like that before. But he's so gifted. So yeah, appreciate him. And yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You said something that was very interesting. You said that he's knocking at the doors of being a legend. How did you arrive at that? Because as a young artist, having been noticed by none other than this label, Jam Def. This is Jam Def. Rest.
Def Jam.
Jeez. It's like a
I
friend of
mean,
mine. I was talking to somebody. He says Facebook. He says book face. Well, but honestly, yes. How has it been so far? With how you've been captured. If I can say, can I use the word captured, Ron? How you've been identified by Jebdam, the Jebdam, what? Anyway, I'm just kidding. But the fact of the matter is that how do you feel? Because not a lot of artists have gotten to that. People are knocking at the doors of big labels. I'm not a fan of signing with labels, but then as they have found you and you've signed with them, how do you feel, and how are you incorporating what you've gotten right now with the legend of YP? How do you mesh that? Be able to take advantage of it, because right now you are on the rise, like he said. You're on the rise out there. How do you feel, and how are you going to be able to maintain that sort of semblance of stability with YP and get to where he's gotten to?
I, you know, I never made music because I thought like I was gonna get signed by a major. Like I feel like my management or the people that were holding me down at the time, that was kind of everybody's plan. Like, oh, we get him to this level, sign a major deal type of thing. For me, like I just want to make music. I just want to put out the most creative things. Like I want to tap into the highest form of my creative energy. So like how I feel, if I can't really tell you how I feel honestly. I don't really know. Like I'm not really planning these things. I'm just going with the energy that's leading me, the spirit that's guiding me. I'm kind of just following.
Having fun.
What is it?
You're having fun.
Not just fun. Like it's not fun. Like it's there's a guide. Something is guiding me.
Okay.
So I'm just following the guidance. Like everywhere I go, I learn something. Everywhere I'm put in, like whether with Def Jam, whether with Apex. I was at Apex for 2 years before I signed to Def Jam. So, and a lot of people don't. And in these 2 years, I never done one show. I never done one performance. I never done anything. All I did was drop music and leave the country. So, and that's like pretty unprecedented. Nobody does that. Nobody like you drop a record, you don't do no shows, you leave the country that you drop the record in. You don't do any rounds, no club tours, no anything. All you do is online press. That's all I've done since because of school. Because I have school, and when I dropped music was when I was going uni. So I dropped my first records and I went to uni. So I never toured it, never went to clubs with it. I never did nothing with it. And it went that far. So like I feel like these moments of my career, these are the learning points. Like these, because eventually when I'm done with school and I actually enter the music pro, right now I feel like I'm still doing it on a part-time thing. I feel like I'm not even in it yet. Like I feel like I'm still playing with these people. Like I feel like I'm still, I'll make a song, drop it, free that. But this is like a learning moment. I'm seeing everything. The industry. Tunji's teaching us a lot of things. The label they've done a lot of things for us, and I'm learning from all these things. And YP's taught me so much as well. It's about being a real person, being a real artist, and yeah, like not conforming to what everybody else is saying and just doing your thing. And yeah, like so I'm right now in a learning process until I finish school and all that. I'm just learning. I'm a sponge right now, taking everything in. I'm trying everything. I'm trying new things. I do this. What I don't like, okay, I know that I don't like this, but yeah, right now I'm still in a learning place of my life. And it's pretty exciting, Carl. Like, I just feel blessed, honestly.
Awesome. And this goes to, before Ron you came in, YP, who wrote the track? Who wrote most of the tracks? The project that you guys are doing? Did you split it, or how are you handling it?
Everything is split up. Either Azanti sends a record, or I send a record, or we're together. We just cook up together. But it's usually like a 50-50 effort. If he goes on the hook, he leaves the space for me to go on the verse. If I go on the hook, I leave the space for him to go on the verse. So we just send it through, record wherever we're at. If we're together, we record there. If we're not, we just send emails back and forth, and that's what it is.
In essence, I mean, you guys are doing great. And Claire Road is, if there's any indication with the project that you're doing, Claire Road is one of it. Man, you got something
Yes, sir.
good.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Oh, yes, it's you guys have something good coming. I know that. I know if I hear that, I know you guys have got something good coming. Ron or Petra, you can take it out from here.
Ma'am, you go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
We're so polite on this show. I love it. So this question is for both Azanti and PSYCHOYP. So what's next? Like, what's next? What do you both have planned after this project? And either one can go first. Yeah, Azanti's fine. Yeah.
All right. For me, next thing is another project. I love making music. I love if I haven't said that, So the next thing for me is another project, and I'm gonna be more in my production bag. With this project, YP and Azanti, I produced about 5 of the records on YP and Azanti right now.
Oh, nice.
This is the first time. Claire Road, I produced Claire Road as well alongside the legend Mute. I don't know if you guys. Mute is one half of Legendary Beats. With the legend Mute's work with WizKid, everybody. And Max. Thrill Max is one of our in-house producers in Apex. So right now, YP and Azanti, this is like a way for me to test my production in the waters. And I have, this is one of the few times I've always known how to produce. I started off as a producer. I started making beats 9, 7. So I started off as a producer. I only started singing when I was like 13, 14. So when I started singing was when like I just started producing, So this past year, 2, I've been trying to get back into my production chops, and YP and Azanti is gonna really show that. And I feel like from there I'm gonna be more in my production bag on some Kanye stuff. I want to do stuff for other people, executively produce other people's things. I have a few projects in line that I want to drop, but mainly, yeah, exciting stuff, like more down tempo stuff. Yeah, I mean, because the YP and Azanti is a bit more up tempo, mid tempo. I feel like the next thing is like down tempo, back in my R&B roots. Like I feel like my career, when I'm done with my career, it's gonna feel like seasons. Every project is gonna feel like seasons. My first project R&B hip hop. My next project R&B. My third project, my album was Heart Parts and Nostalgia, and that was fusion, mad fusion, Afrobeats, R&B, jazz, bossa nova. Everything was in my first debut album. Now my next
Mm-hmm.
album, hip hop fusion, R&B thing. Then my next
Nice.
album, yeah, R&B thing. So I'm a
Same.
I'm a musician, so I just want to carve all the soundscapes. By the time I'm dead and the music is live, like I'm gonna be proud of what I've done because I
Same.
stepped out of the box and I beat the box.
Same. I like that. I like that. Like you said it perfectly. Just one more thing to add on to that. I wanted to ask you, what are your overall goals for your career? I know you mentioned some of the projects that you're going to accomplish.
Mm.
And I say going to because we know you're going to do it. Are there any more goals that you want to achieve throughout the longevity of your career or with your music?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I dropped my debut album in 2022, and I dropped the deluxe like in August last year. Crazy for me to be able to do that. It done my biggest numbers of all time since YP.
Mm,
My debut album has done the most numbers for any songs I've dropped, anything I dropped. So it just shows me that I'm going in the right direction. Um,
mm-hmm.
future, same stuff. I just want to keep going in the right direction and keep pushing. And I just want to do some really creative things with the music, with not just the music, how the music is, you know, is uh is rolled out. Like I want to get into acting. Like I'm an artist.
Nice.
Want to be an artist. I just be allowed to be an artist, like and fully explore my creativity. You know, I want to be at the top of my top of my industry, and even if
Mm,
I'm at the top, like I just want to be a respected man among the musicians. I feel like I'm kind of there in a sense, like in the industry. I feel like I have a lot of respect for somebody my age, and I feel like a lot of people my age have had at the time. A lot of people my age did not have the respect that I have, and even now, like YP saying that they need to give me my flowers, which is true. They do need to give me my flowers, but it's hard to give a youngin their flowers when they're brand new.
true.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Why
Yeah,
people?
all good though. I like how you keep him on his toes, you know? He needs that. For sure. And also, Psycho, if you want to answer the same question as well, if you don't mind.
Um, yeah, I feel like after this project, definitely gonna be another project, but I'm definitely gonna come out with like a couple singles first, you know. Um, so the project might not even come out this year, but definitely
Mm-hmm.
hella singles will come out this year.
For sure, for sure.
Um, yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
And then just the final part of that question, and what like are they and what are your overall goals for your career? You know, I know we spoke about it last time you came on the show, but I know as Auntie mentions, you know, evolution occurs. So I'm sure maybe the goals have changed from last time you were on till now. But if you want to share with your listeners and your fans what your goals are for your career, would you say? Or what
Um,
they would
nah, I think my goals are still the same, you know. Um, I'm trying to be successful in my field. You know, I'm trying to still look out for the bros. You know, make sure the collective is a powerhouse.
nice.
Um, yeah, that's my biggest goal. You know, just to make sure everybody's up. And everybody's playing their part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 'Cause there's so much talent where I'm from. You know, we're just
Mm-hmm.
trying to take it worldwide for real.
Exactly. And I just want to say the two goals that you mentioned, you're doing those things right now. You know what I mean? You
100%,
definitely are,
100%.
you are definitely successful and you're definitely looking out for the bros. So definitely keep doing it.
That's it.
Well, I think you're doing both because you've
Yeah.
taken Azanti under your wing, so you know. The big
Oh,
bro
yeah,
part. Yeah, the
Azanti.
big bro part is working.
Yeah, for real. No, shout out Azanti. Shout out the collective as well, Apex Village.
Awesome.
For sure. Yeah, Ron?
Yay. Thanks, ma'am. This is a question I always ask artists, and I know my two friends over here are going to know the question well, and that is, I'm curious to know how you start your songs out, how you get going. And I'll give you an example. I saw somebody on Instagram the other day saying that they wanted to write a song and they had the words to it, and somebody sent them a song, and it was an F sharp major. Anybody who knows F sharp major knows that has 6 sharps. That's a lot of sharps. And I personally, as a musician, I don't play many songs in F sharp. It's a tough key. So I suggested, why don't you move it to F? That's only 1 flat, or G, which is only 1 sharp, makes it a whole lot easier to get your song across to people. I sent a song to a fellow yesterday. It was an A minor. I thought, perfect. The horns are all going to have to play easy keys then. So how do you guys go about writing your songs? I'm curious to know. How do you start? Do you start with chord changes? Do you just find samples? How do you do this? Because everybody seems to be different on how they approach this. I know that I don't like to write in the key of F sharp because it's just not an easy key for singers, and nor is it easy key to play it either. So how do you do it?
It really depends on how I'm feeling, honestly. Like, I feel like I've been making beats since I was 7, so I've kind of explored every way I could do it. Like whether it's playing in the F sharp or playing in the F. I've done everything. I've done the B flat. I've probably done a song in every key, right? Like every type of record, whether you start with the drums, whether you start with the chords, whether you start with the melody, I feel like all the vocals, I feel like I've exhausted every way. That's why I'm always trying to learn and get better and explore my creativity, because I'm down to do a record any way. Like any direction is the direction that eventually become like gold. Any way you make a song, the F sharp, making a song in F sharp, I feel you. Like it's not easy to like sing there, but like I feel like a lot of people, the reason why they do that is because when you're like trying to when you're improvising, it's easier when you know that like it's most of the black keys. That's why people like use F sharp. That's why I'm just from my own experience. Whenever I use that key to start a record, it's because I know that like I'm just gonna play on the black keys and it's gonna sound tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most of them. It's a nightmare for horn sections. I know.
I hear that. I feel like I'm down to try to make music anywhere, like whether it's this or that. Like I feel like I've done it, and yeah, either way you could make magic.
So, do you play an instrument? I
Yeah.
know that. What do you play?
No, I'm not the best, but like I could play the keyboard, I could play the guitar, I could play drums,
I don't think anybody would say they were the best.
and the bass.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know Eric Clapton was asked, "What do you feel about being the best guitar player in the world?" And he said, "I don't know. You'll have to ask Prince." So, so that's I don't think anybody wants to admit to being the best at anything. So, kudos to you for being able to do those things. I know I play those as well. Play the the keys and all that, and the drums and the bass and all that, and guitar. It really helps. So I just keep curious because different people I've seen do them as samples, do all kinds of different approaches to this, and to me, it's whatever works for you, and there's no rights or wrongs. I could tell you that the way PETRAA did something was wrong, but she sings so fabulous and great. How can I say somebody does something wrong? There's not a right or wrong to this. It's just an approach. I think that is different for different people. So we all take on things differently. And the singer I work with approaches things totally different from me, and that's okay. That's why we work well together. So, sir, over to you, TYB. I think he's muted.
TYB.
Yeah, I think you're muted there, TYB.
Can't hear you.
Oh yes, you can hear me now.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Well, this question is to YP. The last time you were here, I quite remember asking you how how you want to see yourself in the next 5 years. I didn't even go 10, but from the time that you've been here, I've seen you've got accolades, and it seems, man, you are on the rise. I mean, anytime you mention YP, everybody knows YP right now. So, but my question to you would be, what advice would you give to someone starting in your industry, in this industry, more so coming from the continent, and you playing hip hop? Somebody might say it's from Nigeria, and Nigerians are synonymous with Afrobeats. But then this is where we get to a situation where nobody or everybody should identify Nigerians as playing Afrobeats, right? My question to you is, opening it up, what advice would you give to someone in this industry? What advice would you, if they are going to start in there? Because a lot of musicians out there, or a lot of artists out there, think that, oh, go to the write the music, go to the studio, record, and then have fun. You get the fame, and most times they don't even get there from the starting block. So, what would you, with your success that you've earned, what would be your advice to young people or people getting started in this industry, especially in trap, hip hop, R&B, and what have you? The floor is yours, please. Right here.
I feel like anybody trying to come into this industry on like the same like genre that I make, you just gotta believe in yourself. Stick to what you know, stick to what you believe in, and it's always gonna come around. That's why I said I keep working every day. Like even though I get like 100 Ws, I never just sit down and say, yeah, I feel like it's time to rest. No, no, I got to keep working. So I feel like the best advice to anybody in my field is just to keep working. It's literally never enough in this industry. So you just got to keep working, to be very honest. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got a text from a Melissa in Syracuse, New York. She wants to know why PSYCHOYP. She wants to know what it is. Explain what it is. She loves it, but she wants to know what PSYCHOYP is.
Good question.
I think he's logged. Okay, I'm getting.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you say.
What I said was what Petra, help me out, because
Oh yeah, Psycho. The lady Melissa from Syracuse,
Yes.
New York, was asking, what was the meaning of your name, PSYCHOYP? Like, why did you choose that name?
I mean, it was like in secondary school, it was like nicknames. It's like two nicknames that I put together. So they used to call me Psycho, and they used to call me Young Papi, like Papi Chulo.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just put it together, and yeah, it kind of stuck.
And it has
The
become.
question is, why Psycho?
Good question, ma'am.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure.
Clearly, because he's mad, bro.
Oh, Azanti answered. He knows the meaning.
Clearly, because he's crazy.
And after he's not that, but then he has used that to get to where he is.
100%.
And Melissa, if you are listening, well, it was a nickname given to him as he was in school. So that's what I can say.
As long as it gravitates into the music, that's all that matters, and
Exactly.
it definitely is. That Psycho's turned into success.
Yes. And I understand your project is coming to a head, and you're going to be releasing the project in either May or June. Let listeners know when it's going to be ready to be served to the hungry YP fans and Azanti fans.
Yeah, I feel like they could just be anticipating. They should be ready. Probably gonna come out May. if everything is good. Or
Everything is going to be good.
Azanti, if everything is good, bro. We've been
And-
pushing this project for the longest, like I said. You know, we're working on the best mixes. So we
Mhm.
literally were meant to drop it last year, but as I said, 3 months in, we're still mixing. But if the fans could pray for us and the engineer, hopefully it should be out soon. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the
for real.
engineer came down with a cold or something. Or he was allergic to nuts and he ate nuts and like something.
Oh no.
Mm.
That's wild.
But you know, YP, pleasure. As we told you the last time you were here, this is your radio station. Never forget about that. It's a radio
100%. No,
station for
thank you for
all.
having us. Thank you for having us.
Anytime, every time I go through my this, I say, yeah, Psycho was here the other time. No? And so when we got the word that you were coming here, thanks to Richard Dean for
Yes, big up
arranging
Richard.
this. Oh my
Shout
God.
out to Queen Richardine.
Yes, yes. Richard Dean has been great for us, for African, Caribbean, African music. She's been there, and we are so grateful that she's been able to put us in touch with you. And today we have another new family member, Azanti. And Azanti, don't you forget that. This is your radio station too. And anytime that you get your music out there, hey, we don't take payolas, like the other radio stations. No, payola is not our cup of tea. If the music is clean, no swear words, nothing like that. Hey, Loud Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio is the stop point. Is the railway station is the airport for you. And having said that, Azanti, how can people reach you with respect to your social media? And right after that, YP, that will be your turn. Go ahead, Azanti, please.
Appreciate you guys for having me. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Azanti _FSN, AZANTI Thank you guys for having me again.
Yes, you could see everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, at PsychoYP. That's PSYCHOYP. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having us.
That's right.
We'll definitely be back.
Oh, yes, of course, we have to.
Oh, for sure. Have to.
I'll
Sure,
come up to you in
absolutely.
Nigeria. Yes.
Y'all should throw a release party for us on live.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yes, and trust me,
100%.
Clay Road is going to be played 24/7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Thank you so much.
You know that. So, folks, this is where the rubber hits the tire, the road. And we are so glad that you spent your time, your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you may be around the globe, to spare your space and time with us. We hope to be with you again in 7 days, where a new artist or artist will be here in conversation with PETRAA, Ron, and HWY 6 Africa. On that note, take care of yourselves and each other, and bye-bye.